Yeah, I
Wow.
didn't know it was coming that much.
Yeah. So it is there. Yeah. Okay, Dream Team. Okay. I'm checking to see when Dr. D will start running.
We still have 4 minutes, but you can just go on YouTube and check as well.
I just opened my other phone and I don't see it yet.
Yeah, we have 4 minutes to go. Welcome everyone. Oh my goodness, it's another weekend on long and another long drive weekend again. This time we're coming back from Indianapolis. Last weekend we were in South Carolina, Columbus, South Carolina. Let me just check as well. YouTube. No, YouTube is on, Bella. It's counting down. YouTube is on.
I'm not seeing home.
The YouTube is on. They're counting down.
Okay, it just shut. Okay, it's just starting on my end. All right, it is 1 o'clock. So, all right.
All right. Welcome everyone for another exciting weekend with the Dream Team. And we said that we want to dream big. because your limit is your dream. So we want to give God the glory and the adoration for giving us an opportunity to be here another weekend for a conversational type of presentation in helping us to talk about finances. But before we start with the main presentation of the day, I will want to say welcome everyone. And I'm going to call our very own Queen Kanla to start our webinar with our song that was gifted to us by our own sister here, Lerato Shadare, the woman with the beautiful voice. Yes. Over to you, Queen Kanla, if you can play In It to Win It.
In it to win it. Thank you so much, Queen Dr. Pat. Welcome everyone. We are glad to have you here today, wherever you're joining the Dream Team, whether it's morning, whether it's afternoon, whether it is evening on your end, you are welcome. To our family on YouTube, welcome once more. And as some of us will be joining in, you are welcome one more time. So without much further ado, let me go ahead and share my screen, and so we can get right into our signature tune given to us by none other than Queen Lerato. She is not here today, but we always acknowledge her and her talent, her gift with us. So thank you as always, Queen, for making our webinar special with your voice, your beautiful voice.
Queen Kanla, can you share the sound as well, please, when you share?
Yes, I thought I did share. Okay, let me hold on a minute. I did share the sound. My volume, everything is here. Let me see. Yeah.
When you do share in Zoom, make sure you check the box of share sound, so we couldn't hear it.
All right, then let me stop and go back one more time. Share. Share screen. Okay. Now I don't seem to see where it is. When I share my whole screen.
Look at your bottom, look towards your right side. Either look around. When you do share screen, look at your right. There will be a box to check sound.
Okay.
Bottom left or bottom right.
Let me make my screen full screen. I had initially checked that button a long time ago, so but right now, oh my, I thought I had this figured out before now. Please bear with me. Background side, nope. Okay, this is not. Just a minute. Share. Share my screen. For some reason, I do not see where that sound is, Sister P.
Check your bottom left as well.
On the Zoom screen?
Yes. Where you say share screen, look bottom left. Where you do share screen, before you do share again, you see it.
Okay. Let me go back. Screen share.
At screen share, look whether you see anything like sound. Click it before you do share.
Share. Oh, shared sound. It was. All right. Seeing it. Thank you.
No problem.
Somehow it unchecked. Good. All right. Thank you. Sorry for keeping everyone waiting. All right. We are ready to go.
We are here, shining bright into the future. We rise high with one heart and revolution, lifting up humanity as we rise, standing tall, hand in hand. We are the unicorn, we are the stars. Bringing hope, shining the light. We're a nation, we are rising with one love, with one goal, bringing solution, lifting up humanity. Let's rise high, standing tall, hand in hand. We are the unicorn, we are the stars. In it to win it, in it to win it, to win it. In it to win it, in it to win it.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Thank you, Queen Lerato. Thank you, our Queen, for that beautiful melody. We appreciate you, and we know that you are busy this time of the season, and we can't wait to have you back with us once more. So, all right, back to you, Queen Dr. Pat.
Hello, hello. Yes, so today we are going to wing the word. Means all of us are going to participate in the word today. Our Queen Sister Lerato is not here. Our Queen Sister Yvonne has, no, this is holiday season, right? So they're blessing people with their presence somewhere. And our Queen Mama McCormick has been away for a while, just joined today. So I want to talk about contentment spirit. And why is this very important? Especially during this season of festivity, where at this time of the year, especially here in North America, maybe it's all over the world, actually, the globe, people stress themselves to make sure they get gifts. And children feel like if they don't have gifts, they're not loved. Santa has not come to them. And instead of a joyful season that to remember the birth of our Savior, people become sad. And because of that, we don't see through our blessings. I have learned over the years, thank you, Dream Team, of all the mindset talks here, to start forcing myself to see the glass half full instead of half empty. So let's count our blessings and name them one by one. Then we'll see what God has done. If we really intentionally start trying to do that, you'll be able every day of your life to see one blessing that the Almighty God has done for you or your family or your loved one. So I want us to come with that spirit of contentment so that we can start celebrating with others. So one day they can celebrate with us. Not wondering what people have and we don't have. But maybe that's not what you need. So let's come now and start even teaching the young ones in our community under our custody to see the season for the joyfulness that it is than for the fact that they have to have a wish list. And if that wish list is not met, they feel less of a person or less love or feel like Santa is not there for them. I remember when my kids were growing up, I told them right up that there's no Santa Claus. And the nursing school was like, oh, you mean? I said, no, because I don't want my kids to feel that if I cannot meet up with their wish list, then Santa did not love them or Jesus doesn't love them. I didn't want that for my children. So I was upfront with them that if mom and dad doesn't buy these things, nobody's coming down this chimney to give you these things. So, and sometimes if we don't buy them, means either it's not a hit or it's not on the priority of things. But what we did as a family, and I made them to do is, through our church, through our community, they'll say, take a gift card, which is the wish list of one child, and buy something for them instead. Because sometimes you really don't need these things that you're asking. So try to be part of the code donating code for children that code, things that are practical. So through churches or schools will pick a gift wish list for one child and you go out and shop for that child. So I want us to see this season as a time of sharing, as a time of not going to bed with a stomach full and somebody's going to the bed with his stomach empty. As a time of celebrating together and be joyful together. As a time of having each other's back. As a time of going out and volunteer in the community to tell a child that you are loved. To tell a family that God loves you people. You are not alone. We've got you. Let's not add, because you see, there's a day called Boxing Day. I see on Boxing Day, typically, you see a lot of people back in the shop returning the unwanted gift because people bought gift because they think they have to. Let's be intentional about how this season is being spent. And if truly we have a little bit excess, let's look for the people that truly need stuff. There are kids that don't have winter jackets. There are kids that don't have a meal to eat. Let's spare our time and be content on what we have and give to those that don't have this season. I really don't know what more to say. As I said, I'm going to make it short and sweet, but this is the time I want all of us to contribute to the word today. And let's talk about the spirit of contentment. Because God says that we should be each other keeper. It says that do not be a loan shark. Don't borrow to your brothers and ask with interest. There was a reason why this commandment was there. He said, take care of your brothers. And when Jesus was in the teaching, you remember somebody say, your brother and your mom, they are waiting for you. Say, who is my mom? Who is my brother? Because everybody is my brother, it's my mother. So I will end here because I want us to just take like another 2-3 minutes and share. If you want to share, raise your hand. Queen Kanla or Queen Debbie will call you so we can just share quickly before we go to the main topic. How do we help each other to go through this season? Don't feel depressed. Don't feel like we're alone. Don't feel like God has forsaken us, because he never forsakes his own. I would like us to do that now. Over to you, Queen Kanla and Queen Debbie.
Greetings, family. It's so good to hear your voices. Thank you so much. You're on the road and you're still dedicated as always. I just wanted to share a little bit to today. Let us be grateful for what God has given us, those of us who are here and our families. I will start by saying we should be grateful for one another, especially this year. And we should be grateful for people who are in our lives. That means our neighbors, our extended families, and our communities. And those who have churches that we go to, we should be grateful for the people in our parishes and also pray for them in the congregation, anyone who serves. I just had an experience last Sunday when we had a dedication, and at the back of the church, there was a kid running after me saying, "Oh, you look like my mom." And I turned around and said, "Yes, I am your mom and I'm someone's mom." And she said, "Oh, no, sorry, you're not my mom." Then I said, "Show me your mom." She pulled me over to where her mother is. And we were just standing by the Christmas tree. And the Christmas tree had ornaments on them. And those ornaments were actually, as Sister P was saying, the ornaments had wishes inside. The announcement was made, but this child, she's 5 or 6. Yeah, I asked her name. Her name is Paris, and her mother's name is Gladys. So she said, "What are these?" The mother explained to her. She said, "I want 3." And I said, "Can you explain to me, Paris, why you want 3?" She said, "One for my mom, one for my little sister, and one for myself." Then I said, "Okay, can you get one for me?" She said, "Don't you have children?" I said, "Yes, I do." He said, "Why don't you take for them?" So we ended up living with 6 of those cards. And I got mine. It was to put whatever the card says. You make that wish come through. Put it in an envelope, and then they were all were taken back to church and given to those people who sent those wishes. So this is just to say, even if you have a child, as Sister was saying, for people who do not want to encourage that, you can always go to church and share the little you have with people in your lives especially if you belong to a community called church, because not everybody goes to church. So that's a little I have for today, and it's such a blessing hearing everyone's voice. Thank you. Back to you, Sister Kanla.
All right. Yeah, thank you so much, Queen Sister Debbie. I mean, that is absolutely right what you're saying, because in my own community, I am also experiencing that, not only the immediate African community, but as well as my church community, where we have under the Christmas trees in the gathering space before you go there, there are ornaments, and even there are baskets full of little papers with different gifts that have been put into that basket. And that is the Christmas wishes of many people, many families that will not have the opportunity to have someone bless them, to have someone be able to share something with them. So in the spirit of Christmas, as Sister Pat has said, everyone is being encouraged. Pick up 1, 2 as you can. And then by the Sunday before Christmas, you bring back the gifts and you put under the trees. And those will be handed to children, to families who will have the opportunity to receive those gifts that left to themselves, they may not be able to have those gifts. So in the spirit of Christmas, at least some families, they will also receive joy and they will feel belonging, they will feel loved, and they will be thankful that yes, they are in a community that cares, they are in a community that loves. And so if we can equally do that within our immediate families, though things are difficult, but at just reaching out to each other and letting each other know that we are there, we are thankful for them, then that is equally something worth celebrating. That is something being content with and about. So that is my little contribution as well. Is there any other leader who wants to add? Yes. Yes, go ahead, Dr. Pat.
Thank you. Please, let's do a quick sharing before we go to the meeting. This is a very kind of challenging times in the world, because the way that we have secularly take what Christmas meant, right? And I'm talking about contentment for us that we don't need more, and we should take what the little that we have excess and share with other person, share the love.
Correct.
And I just want to say that if we, as I started, I say if you look deep every day, there's something that you can be thankful for. It's something that you can say, thank you, Lord. And before I forget, sorry, I'm going to kind of digress a little bit. I just want us to put the families in Brown University in prayers. There was a shooting at Brown University over the weekend, I think yesterday, and a couple of students lost their life. And how did I find out? Because I've been really out of the news. I had a scary call asking where my niece is. I'm like, why would you be asking where she is? She's in school. Anyway, long story short, come to find out that there was a shooting. But I just want to thank God for preserving her life and my nephew's life that was in the same school. But at the same time, I just want us to put the family that have lost their loved one. Kids were preparing for their finals for the end of semester, and this gunman had access to go around the libraries and open fire. So let's, in this spirit of celebration, people are having this type of pain. Let's just put that Brown family together in our prayers as well. But I'll digress a bit, because it's during this festive period, and some people will be looking at their Christmas tree and say, where's my child? So put them in prayers. And let's give another 2-3 minutes for the discussion, then we can go to our presentation. Back to you, Queen Kanla. We can coordinate. I don't know whether anybody has this in the chat. Then we can read it.
Well, since we're praying for people in the world, there was also a shooting in Australia this week in a synagogue. So we should have those. About 9 people were killed.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you for sharing that.
Debbie, for sharing that. This is a very, very difficult season. And it shouldn't be. It surely shouldn't be. But it is. So let's keep just keep an eye on our community so people feel love. I think that's what we're trying to say. So people can feel love. All right, back to you, Queen Kanla.
All right, thank you, Queen Dr. Pat. Thank you so much. All right, anyone else who would want to share a little bit before we get into the discussion for today? I don't see any participation in the chat. Feel free if you have anything to add in the chat for today, and we will be able to read it aloud. All right.
If that's the case, sorry, today my sister is wearing multiple hats. Queen Debbie, can you introduce our speaker for today? So
Oh, our lovely sisters. You have a way of doing things. We have a wonderful person who's been with us in this family, supporting each team, supporting everyone in everything that we need. Rain or shine, she's with us, and that is Queen Kanla. When I say she's with us, it means she is there when needed to do anything, and she's the best and fastest learner you can imagine. She has a wonderful background in human resources, and she researches and provides anything in every aspect of human resources. If you get through Queen Kanla and you ask her a question, if she doesn't answer, she'll tell you, I will come back to you, and she definitely will. So anything she has to share, know that she has done a good research, either based on our request or something that she has come across and believes will help our community. Please, let's welcome our sister, Queen Kamla, as she presents to us the topic of the day, which is for you to pay yourself first. And I'm sure it's not necessarily financially. It could be in every regard, but let her open that Pandora box and share with us. Over to you, Queen Kamla. We love you. Welcome. The microphone is yours.
Wonderful, wonderful. Oh my goodness. Queen Sister Debbie, I'm honored and humbled by that introduction. Wow. I hope I'm able to stand up to that expectation to the best that I can. And today we all will be able to leave here more informed and more aware and be able to put into implementation some of the knowledge that we continue to learn on this, our forum. So I am about to begin sharing my slide, and please let me know if you can see it. This is going to be more of a conversation or a dialogue. As the topic says, we are seated at the kitchen table. And we all know when we sit at the kitchen table, we are family. When we sit at the kitchen table, we are talking about basic things. We are talking about what we do. We are talking about what impacts you and me, father, mother, children. When we sit at the kitchen table, it is a warm environment. So is my slide looking okay now? Queen Debbie,
Thank you. Yes, yes, Queen Kanla.
is my slide okay?
Absolutely. It's very okay. You're good. You're good to go, sis.
All right. So yes, I was saying when we sit at the kitchen table to talk finances, I know this is a topic that is sensitive. This is a topic that is secret. This is a topic that some of us were raised not even being exposed to it. We started the first part about a couple of weeks ago, I think 2 weeks. And now we are into part 2. And today's theme.
Like that? Oh, in the
Please, can you unmute yourself while the presentation is ongoing? I am doing, I'm multitasking. I'm the host, so I will not be able to see anyone who comes in. So please, for housekeeping, can you unmute yourself? Thank you. All right, let me go back to where I was saying we started with the first part of our topic, kitchen table financial talk. Last session was an introduction to the kitchen table financial talks. And we had so many different sub themes that we will be exploring. And we left it at the point where we said we are going to further explore many more of those. And today we are continuing with the sub-theme, pay yourself. And as we get into this conversation, this is just a disclaimer that this is for informational purposes only, to educate ourselves so that we are able to be aware, help ourselves, and also be advocates to others, to our families that may need this information to redirect them, because we all need this information where we are today. And so I just thought it wise to share that with you as we get into our conversation. So let me be able to ask, when you heard the topic, pay yourself first, what did it mean for you? Pay yourself first. I know so many of us here may have heard the word pay yourself first. And how does this impact you, or how has this influenced you? Whether it's your understanding, whether it's your background, whether it's your experiences, pay yourself first. Can someone share with us what it means? Yes, Dr. Pat, I see your hand raised. And if you are not able to raise your hand, please, you can enter the information in the chat and Queen Debbie will be able to read it out for us, please. And feel free for us to share. Proceed, Queen Dr. Pat.
All right. Queen Carla, when you started this series, I started reflecting.
Yes.
What does it mean to pay yourself first?
Right.
And then at one point it was conflicting for me because I thought, oh, I should be selfless. But when I deep, and this was all through my upbringing with the Lord, and then when I deep, I realized God said we should be good stewards. He didn't want us. So I said, okay, so this is what is going to happen. When I've paid my Lord, trying to do my tithe, I'm not saying that I'm that good, but I'm really intentionally trying to do my tithes. Then Caesar, and that means I pay my taxes. then I should pay myself first, means take care of my needs, that if I take care of the community and the family. Because in the past, I would take care of the community and the family, and sometimes my needs are unmet. So when this topic started, I started reflecting. Then I remember one of my good friends used to tell me that he does first over. I said, what does it mean by first over? He said, no, a lot of people do leftover. He does first over. Means he kind of take care of himself. It doesn't mean in a bad way, to be honest, when you start really, really looking deep. Because just look at it this way. What if you pay everybody and then you're on the street because you couldn't pay your house rent? Or you couldn't pay, or you're in the cold because you couldn't pay your bills. How does it look like?
Good
The
question.
very people that you send them the money, they'll be the one mocking at you, right? Laughing. They look at her, or look at him. They're on the street. They're homeless. They'll forget that they use sacrifice for them at one point. So paying yourself first doesn't make you a selfish person. Paying your first just makes you a good steward. I think throughout the mindset in this dream team too, one of the things we're talking when we're talking about health, it's only a healthy person, a person that's alive, can help the community, correct? So
Correct.
if you don't pay yourself first by going to the doctors, taking good care of yourself, there are different ways of paying yourself first. How can you be there to pay others or to take care of others? Let me stop so other people can contribute. But when I start reflecting, I start saying that paying yourself first doesn't mean that be I and I. That's not what it means. It means that if you take care of yourself, you'll be okay to take care of others. That's what it means for me.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And you are correct. Thank you. You have used so many real life examples that some of us can relate and identify with. Yes. Me too. Thank you. Let's wait for the next person who is willing to share with us.
All right, Dr. John wants to share. Let's see whether we can hear him.
All right, good. Oh, Dr. John, thank you so much. And that is my powerful mentor. That is the person to whom I give the thanks and gratitude for impacting me with the knowledge that I am able to share with you guys today. So thank you. Over to you.
Okay, I thought I was going to be paid on that anyway. So now, when you said, when I got that topic and I came across this idea of paying myself first, it was kind of contradictory, because if you think of us when we work and you go get your pay slip or paycheck, especially those of us in North America, what you get is what has been left over, as we say, when they have taken the taxes, Social Security, unemployment benefits. And so to me, that concept of paying myself first did not really make any sense. But just as the last speaker just mentioned, sometimes when we listen to some of these concepts and we start to think about it, we realize it's just a mindset shift that we are being asked to do. Because, the human being is got one of those incredible capacities to adapt. And if we change our mindsets and understand how, again, I was listening to Dr. Pat talk, and I thought she was going to use an analogy that she uses a lot, which is when you're in the plane and the cabin crew are going ahead telling you how to put your oxygen mask, what do they tell you? If you're traveling with children or other people, that need assistance, when the masks drop, put yours first so that you're able to help them. So paying yourself first could actually mean paying yourself when taking care of some of those basic necessities to make sure you are in a good position to help others, even after the taxes have been taken, or actually looking at it in one other aspect. Many of us are looking forward to January coming. And if things are lucky for you, you may have a pay raise. And if you have a pay raise, guess what? Our human instincts are to go out and get those things that probably we didn't really need, which we had been looking at. But then, if you actually are like many of us who have just been struggling to survive, we did survive the year with what we're having. Now you then have a $10 a month or whatever increase. And what if that particular increase that you have, you say, oh, last year I was able to survive without this. Now I've got this extra $10. Let me actually pay myself, which means I keep it somewhere or I set it aside and keep it for some of those things that I had always been dreaming that when I have enough, I will save money to do X, Y, Z. You could actually go and pay yourself first with those little increments that we have, and that would make a lot of difference long term if you actually adopt that mindset shift. So just as we are able to actually switch from very hot summers to cold winters, if you also have a situation where your finances go up a bit, really use that idea of let me set this excess aside for myself than just go and just splash it across the world. So those are some aspects of pay yourself first that when I listened to this topic, I thought about other than just the finance piece of it.
Wonderful. That is a very good answer also to pay yourself, another broad perspective. And that is the truth. We can analyze pay yourself from all the different perspectives. And so right now, yes, we can establish all what has been said. Pay yourself first. It begins, you pay your tithes for those that are Christians. For those that are not Christians, it will not mean that you pay your tithes to God, but whatever your supreme being is that you worship, is you pay your tithes to him or to them, and then you pay yourself. Pay yourself is taking care of yourself. The pay yourself is making sure that you are healthy. Pay yourself is ensuring that you are building habits, discipline. In your life when it comes to your financial freedom for tomorrow. You're doing today, you're planning today and building today. For things like emergency funds, whether you're planning to purchase your ticket to go for a beautiful trip, and many other things. So in a nutshell, we can say, if you are not a Christian where you begin by paying your tithes to God and you want to take care of yourself, you pay yourself, and then you also are able to take care of others, people that you want to care, whether it's through your foundations, whether it's through community, whether it's through your church, or whether you just choose to go to areas where people in need and you want to help them. That in another way is you are extending that pay yourself by helping other people. And I do remember some other people who may not even be aware of this concept. When they say pay yourself, somebody may think, all right, I just need to go take a spa for women, go shopping, buy my dresses. I need to feel good. I need to feel beautiful. Go for a shopping spree. That is taking care of yourself. Well, that is their perception of pay yourself first. But when it comes to financial education and financial knowledge, financial awareness, all of these things do not operate, or all of these things are not isolated. They are all together in one circle, and they come full circle because all of them are aspects of our daily lives and we do all of them. But now the question becomes, why do we do that? Or why do we pay yourself first? Why is it that you need to pay yourself first? Because we have needs, because we have wants, because we have to pay those bills. We have families, we have friends, we have community. We live in a community, we live in a household. Why do you have to pay yourself? You pay yourself first so you are able to save, and you build these portfolios, or you build these income streams so that you are able to take care of your needs. With no savings, you do not know why or how much you can even begin to save to get to your financial goals. And when you lack knowledge of paying yourself or financial education in general, you also lack the strategy for a financial future. And so, knowing that we have needs, wants that we need to satisfy, and we also have the need to do savings. That is why we are learning about this concept of pay yourself first. Now, I will leave it at that. We will expand more, and then I'll bring it full circle as we go to the next slides. But I want us to go to the next reflection, the next question, which says, what is the traditional budgeting strategies and how is this method different? When we talk of the traditional budgeting strategies, we are referring to what we all are accustomed to, what we all know. Whether you are in Europe or whether you are here in North America or whether you are now in the continent, we know about the financial institutions. We know about the banks, where we go and we keep our money, where we are paid through our work. This is the traditional budgeting strategy that we all are taught, and that is the method where you exchange your hours for income, you're paid, and when you're paid at the end of the pay date, for some who are paid bi-weekly, some who are paid semi-monthly, or some who are paid monthly, you pay, your money goes to your bank. You learn on what days you're paid, and you go to your bank, you go and you get your money. If you need to do withdrawal, you do withdrawal. You have your card, your bank card, where you can now use it to do purchases, or you use it to pay your bills. That is the traditional method. That is what we know. But is that the only way including savings. We know that we have checking accounts, we have savings accounts, we have investment portfolios within the bank. You are advised, if you meet with a financial advisor, to have all of those within your traditional budgeting financial institution. That is what we are taught, but is that the only way that you can be able to pay yourself at the end of the day after you have earned your money or after you have earned income? So what do we do as middle to poor income families to be able to achieve this goal outside of the traditional budgeting institutions? Do we have other options that may be better than what we know? And how can we achieve these goals? And this is where we are bringing this conversation that how to the kitchen table. Because in our household, to be honest, how many of us ever sat on the dinner table? Whether it's breakfast, whether it's lunch, whether it's dinner, and have this conversation with our parents about the concept of paying yourself first. As we become engaged adults and we get into our professional careers or when we begin work. Pardon me, I just realized a typo on the screen. Kitchen table. It says kitchen. So I apologize for that. And this comes back to the point I raised earlier, that where we come from, how we were raised, determines how you understand or your exposure to the awareness and the practices of the concept, pay yourself first. When was the last time you paid yourself first? How many of us can raise their hand and answer that question? Or if you're able to speak, let us know. For those of us that are here, please let us participate. Or when was the last time you visited a financial advisor to have a check on your finances? We are aware that our 2025 tax season is soon to begin. How often do you pay yourself first? How do you pay yourself first? That is a very good question. And why should you prioritize paying yourself first? Why is it so important? Whether you're doing it for short-term financial health or wealth, or whether you're doing it for long-term. We have different ways that you can pay yourself first. And we are going to explore this as we go further. One way that I personally have come to learn and I'm practicing is what we call the pay yourself first 80-20 rule in financial education. And then we also have the 50-30-20 rule. I'm sure some of us will be asking, what do you mean by the 80-20 rule? What do you mean by the 50-30-20 rule? Some of us may know, but for those of us who may not know, in financial education, when we talk of pay yourself first, the 80-20 rule, this is a rule that helps you to tell you that when you take your paycheck, you divide or you split it into 80% and 20%. Very simple, brought to the simplest level that anybody can comprehend, understand, not complicated. 80% of your paycheck goes to take care of your needs and your wants. When we talk of your needs, all of your bills, your mortgage, your car rent, all the things you need that are fundamental to our survival. Your wants, you want to go out for leisure, you want to go out for dinner, you want to go do shopping for clothing. So 80% of your paycheck is what you take and you resolve every other thing that you need to do as a family or as an individual at the end of the month. And once you have paid off all of those, then what do you do with the 20%? You take the 20% and you save for yourself. Which comes back to the point that I think Sister Pat talked about. Oh, sorry, Queen Debbie. I do first over and not left over. Once you get it, take your 20%, pay yourself, and then use the rest of the 80% and you resolve all other things that you need to do. For the 50-30% rule, it is the same principle. The only difference is that this one is telling you that when you get your paycheck, you use 50% to pay your bills, which will include your mortgage, your car, your food, your hospital bills, everything that you need or that is a need is 50%. You take your time, you do the calculation, 50% goes for that. 30% goes for your wants. Going out with friends, having some me time, shopping, buying gifts. We talked about contentment, being able to share in the spirit of Christmas. Those things that you need to go out and do, help others that you need. You put them into the 30% and the 20% again, that is where you pay yourself first. 20% pay yourself, and then you distribute the rest of your paycheck into 50 and 30. So you ask me why the two when the concept explanation is the same. There are some people who the 50-30-20 may be too complicated for them to understand, and they will not be able to break down, do the calculator, or they may not sit on a computer and try to use a calculator to try to do the mathematics and break down. That would be too difficult for them. So, but they will understand and apply the 80-20 rule better. It works better for them. And so whichever one that works better for you, you use it, you apply it to be able to pay yourself first. Again, the emphasis is pay yourself first. Have that savings. And we are not saying I should acknowledge that, yes, it will come with challenges, because we'll be thinking, okay, even how about if I am in an emergency right now and I'm not able to afford that 20% save, pay myself first. How about if I have extended families back at home? We heard Dr. Pat talking about where you get your paycheck and you spend it on others and you forget about yourself. And then you realize that you don't have anything to do for yourself. Yes, we acknowledge that there will be challenges. There will be difficulties in doing that. But again, we come back to the point of we are building habits. We are trying to instill some discipline. It's a mindset. Because you are looking at the bigger picture. Pay yourself first and you will be able to help others. Pay yourself first and you'll be able to take care of yourself and take care of others. Pay yourself first and you'll be able to take care of those needs and wants in the long run. You are planning and building your financial future. And while I was preparing for this, when I got to this slide, I was just reflecting to contrast or compare what we have come to understand as this rule here versus what our parents did back at home. And maybe Dr. John, you can chime in here. I was reflecting, how will this 80%, 30, 50, 20% rule apply to our own cultural upbringing, where we grew up knowing that our parents, where our fathers had farms, our mothers would cultivate the farm, plant crops to feed the house and those that will go for sale, while the father will have a raffia bush, and at the same time they will have a kola nut farm, and at the same time they will have a fruit portion of the farm. And also for those who come from where we have the eucalyptus, which is a source of economic power, it's used as firewood and it is used for a commercial use as electricity poles. You were able to see some families where a father will have all of these things put in place, or coffee and cocoa. They divided all of these crops in different farms based on where they are and where they did very well. And as years go by, yes, as years go by, when the raffia palm is ready, he starts tapping his palm wine, getting his palm wine, and he sells or he brings and he drinks for himself. He takes out, he goes and sells. As years go by, he's harvesting his kola nuts. He can sell, it becomes a source of income. If it is for when it comes to whether it's the fruits for commercial sale or crops from the farm that our mothers cultivate, you have one for the home and you have the one that goes to the market for sale, and that becomes where they earn their income and they are able to save that money. So that compartmentalization of the different crops over their lifetime is thanks to some of those that they were economically able to put some of us through schools. That is how they raised their money. They did not depend on one source of income. And at the end of the day, what happened when they are old, some of those farms are still there and they hand them over to us, like the raffia farm, the kola nut tree farms. We still, even when we have gone to school and come back and they are still there, they are still yielding fruits. That was education that was not taught within the four walls of the classroom, but yet our parents were educated in their own way, and they knew that they needed to have these things in place. So the question is, if you're doubting, okay, this may be a new concept for you, you don't understand how it works, think about that, what you saw your parents doing, and try to rationalize it and see how they were able to pull these things together and still be able to sponsor us and still be able to take care of themselves and still be able to do everything that they did just from farming. So that, I mean, Dr. John, if you have something to add, I know if you can, but if you can add later, that is fine. But that that was my reflection here.
So you've packed a lot in here. You really packed a lot. The first thing, let me just go back to your 80-20 and the 50-30-20. Why some people choose one over the other. Obviously, the key word in whatever we do is discipline and consistency.
Yes.
If you fully understand what you have as your needs and what are your wants, and then as long as you can separate them and prioritize them, then using either rule makes life easier. But the problem is that many of us just see that everything is a need. So going out to eat is a need. Going to somebody just calls you and say, send me money, like those of us with extended families, that becomes a need. And so if you just lump everything into the 80% and you're not careful, external pressures can actually make you not to be able to pay your bills because all of a sudden you had all these wants that crept up in 1 month and add into your list of things to do, and you spent your 80% on it. And when you spend the 80% on it, then what happens is that we also start spending into the ones that we should have been saving. So for those who are able to differentiate, this is a need, like I have to pay my mortgage, I have to, have gas in the car to go to work, otherwise you'll not be able to provide, get that income. And I need to be able to provide like food for my family. Those, if you can identify those things, then they would take and their priority, they fall into that 50% category. Then I want to go out and visit somebody on the weekend. I want to just send some living allowance to a family member. I mean, if you have taken, let's say, a parent that you taken as a responsibility, you can push that as into the list of your needs. And so if you are able to actually articulate what those wants are, then you'll be able to use the 80-20. If you're not, then make sure that the first 50% covers those, needs, and then you start getting the slush fund. When it comes to the savings, I think that's where you brought in what our parents used to do.
Yes.
What they did was they had multiple streams of income. And
Yes.
through those multiple streams of incomes, they were able to satisfy some of the needs from those multiple streams. For example, if somebody was an agrarian person who did a lot of farming, either subsistence agriculture or even industrial farming, now that was part of their income, so to speak, but at the same time, the food that they prepared was there to provide the basic needs and of I have to feed my family, I have to make sure that my kids have a roof over their heads, and then after they've done that, they'll probably want to also satisfy some more of the needs and wants by converting some of those produce into cash. And
Right.
if they were able to convert it into cash, again, our parents knew how to budget in the sense that they would go out there and they would buy some of the bare necessities with some of that income, and they would save some of the money for rainy days, as well as even save some grain for the new planting season. So
Mm-hmm.
they did that intuitively. They didn't have to sit and say it's 10%, 20%. And then, unfortunately, the only ways that, well, fortunately and unfortunately, the ways that they use for their savings, they obviously had some of these, their meeting groups, some of these susun, jangi, whatever you call them, where they would go and save money for the typically for the short term, because they want to save those monies to pay tuition for kids, to repair a roof, some of those type of things that they'll need in the short term. But they also intuitively did long-term savings, as you mentioned. So if your father left the cocoa farm or a coffee farm or a cola nut farm, that was what it was, literally generational wealth that they had created. They
Yes.
benefited from it, and they then um, left it over to some of us. Um, and unfortunately, many of us now, we departed from that agricultural type of life and did not, is the same as you open a business and your kids never follow up on the business.
Right.
So you find out that even though some of us inherited those were not where we carried on working. And so some of those things have either been left with others, or so in some unfortunate situations, they had been sold or abandoned. So what I am hearing from your reflection is, yes, there is that need for us to be able to save.
Okay. I think we lost you there for a second.
Changed, and they don't need your position has been eliminated. They don't tell you you're fired. They say your position has been eliminated. So, which is the same thing. But now, because we do not have those, it is incumbent on us to also make sure that in this risky world that we are in, that there is like a second stream of income, a gig, a side gig that can
Yes.
cover up for those emergencies if our positions are eliminated, even though they're really telling us that they don't want us. And then through that, we should be able to save both for the rainy day as well as plant our own cocoa trees or our own palm trees for our
Yes.
kids. And
Yes.
those are some of the legacies. I mean, the good book says that a wise person is somebody who leaves inheritance for the grandchildren. So they're not even talking about the children. So we should be thinking 2 generations ahead. And how can I think 2 generations ahead in my job that may be eliminated next week? The only way to do that is to think of vehicles that you can put some of that your 20% saving into, that will convert into some sort of a legacy.
Absolutely. Absolutely, yes. Thank you so much. Yes, that is, you just nailed it. So this slide is partially what I had talked about, but again, it's just to show us what the data says, what the statistics says. In my education, or what I have learned so far, you can see on your screen, this shows us that the middle to poor families in America, or what they call middle America, you can see that there is a percentage. You see the spending percentage. I wish I had my pointer where I can move it, but let me see. Hope everyone can see it. Where it is broken down, you have living expenses. It takes 50% of our monthly income. Taxes, 25%, debt, 20%, and then savings, only 5%, which leaves us monthly average saving in America is minus 2.0%. Is it that they don't earn money, or is it that they are not aware, or they have not been exposed to the financial knowledge to be able to implement this principle, this concept of pay yourself first? It is not about how much you earn. It is that discipline. It is about building those habits, and it is about that consistency. And then to the other side of the slide, now you see the other families. So it has been divided into these two columns, family A and family B. You see family B. These are the top 1% of American families. And look at how the breakdown of their spending and their savings is. They too have 50% when it comes to expenses, which will be the needs, the bills, our responsibilities, and their wants. And then when you look at how much they spend on taxes and how much they put in their savings, 25%. In comparison to the middle class to poor American families, 5%. What is so special about them? What is so special about this family? Because these are families and people that keep on having this kitchen table conversation. It is not taught in the classroom. Some of us, we've gone to school, we are out, and this financial knowledge has not been taught in the four walls of the classroom. It is passed from one generation to another when you sit on the table, when you're having that breakfast, when you're having that lunch, when you're having that dinner, and your dad or your mom turns to you, how much did you save today? Or have you been able to save for this month or for this week? Or when was the last time you saved? Do you understand what you're doing and why you're doing it? That is a more comfortable place where you can actually have that conversation among siblings, among parents and children. And that we have, okay, the next slide will show you how much can you pay yourself per day, which also goes back to the question, the reflection question is, how can I determine how much I can pay myself? Or how do I even understand what strategies to take. We've seen the different ways that you can plan to do your savings to be able to save and pay yourself. And this slide will be able to answer that question. How much can you pay yourself? It's not about how much you earn. You can earn so much, but if you lack that discipline, if you lack that commitment, if you lack those habits, you will still not be able to pay yourself. If you commit to paying yourself, you see on the slide, what if you could just pay yourself just $5 a day? Let's say you're paid 20 hours, $20 per hour, and you commit to paying yourself just $5 a day. Let's say you're paid $35 per hour and you commit to paying yourself $10 a day. Or 15, whichever one you're more comfortable with. So if you think of paying yourself $10 a day out of 8 hours that you work per day, multiply that $10 by 5 if you work 5 days a week, or if you do 4, then you multiply by 4 days a week. Five days a week will be 50. And then if you multiply by 4 weeks, how much will that be? By 5 days a week, and then you multiply by 4, how much will that give you? $200 a month. But if someone came and told you that you need to save $200 a month, what will be your immediate reaction? No, I don't have monies. I have bills to pay. I have to go out. I need to take care of this, my parents. Oh, I have these other needs. I have these other wants. Because you see that money in one bulk and it is heavy. But if you're able to pay yourself on a daily basis, and that money is directed to be withdrawn from your account, just like you pay your bills immediately out of your account, the 50% that immediately that paycheck hits your account, it is taken out. Also, let that $10 be taken out of your account immediately you get that paycheck, so you don't get to see it. But at the end of the month, you realize that you're saving $200 every month. Multiply that $200 by 12, which is 12 months, and see how much you'll be able to save. Now, this will be a whole another concept that we will explore later, which is going to come down to the compounding power of time. But for now, the point I just wanted to show here is, if you pay yourself each day using $5, or you commit to paying $5, $10, you can still be able to pay yourself and successfully have savings for you. And when we fail to do that, then I brought in this slide just as a reminder to us that then at the end of the month, when you start looking, there is also an aspect of, we've heard about the taxes. Where is your money? You earn money, you pay tax. You spend money, you pay tax. You die, you pay tax. Everything here, for those here in North America, we know what it means. And so have you sat down and thought 1 second that you're paying this tax, which is automatically withdrawn also from your paycheck, just like Dr. John said? If that can be done, then the 20% savings can also equally be taken out of your savings or your check. At the same time that taxes are also being taken out of your paycheck. And by so doing, you are able to pay yourself. As we come closer to the end of our conversation today, I just wanted to remind us that our financial independence is not a dream, it's a decision. It's my decision, it's your decision. And I know we have many other financial educators or professionals within our platforms. You've heard from Dr. John. But if you think that you need financial advice or financial analysis, or you want to sit down and have a check on your finances, you can contact us out of this forum and we will do a one-on-one a meeting with you tailored specifically for your needs and your wants. But these are some of the things that we do outside of our forum. And so I want to leave you with these thoughts in mind, or this mindset. Do you have the right mindset to be able to pay yourself first? Do you have the right attitude? Are you disciplined enough? Are you hungry enough to pay yourself first? What is it that really drives you? In this case, we have talked about a combination of what it means to pay yourself first. You want to pay your tithes to God. You want to pay yourself first. You want to take care of other families and friends. You want your financial independence. You want your financial freedom. Do you have that mindset? Or are you going to procrastinate after this conversation and you say, let me think about it? But then once we get into the middle of the week, you don't even think about it. You do nothing and you forget about it. By the time many other things come, you've forgotten about it. We use the analogy of the doubting Thomas also, where you need other people's approval. Are you a doubting Thomas, where you're waiting to see other people implement this mindset of paying themselves first? I know some of us may ask the question, have you been doing it? Show me, let me see. Let me know that you've actually done it and it's worked for you before you advise me to do it. But we are not here to advise you. This is educational purposes only. We are sharing information and these are facts. It is doable. Will you be disciplined to do that? Or you're waiting to see some other person do it? Or you're waiting for some other person's approval before you do it? Or you want to take immediate action now and make things happen in your life? Start implementing, even though there will be challenges, but you can still do it. So that brings me to the end of our presentation for today. That is all I have for you. If you have questions, let us get into the questions, or if you have any other experiences that you want to share, I want to open it again for all of us to participate and share or ask your questions. So thank you.
Wow. Queen Carla, thank you. Thank you. Never thought pay yourself first can come through in these angles. Thanks a lot. Queen Debbie, can you help us here, please? So we are at the point of addition. Queen Debbie, over to you.
No, I'm waiting for you to finish speaking.
No, I'm just saying that we are at the point now for question, for reflection, for addition, for any discussion point. This is a time. Just raise your virtual hand, and Queen Debbie will make sure all of us have our point, share our thoughts, and you concern this topic and paying yourself first.
Thank you very much, Sister P. Queen Kanla, thank you. Wow, you're so thorough, and going back and forth with our brother and him giving his input, it sounded as if I was in a Bayam Salam at the Big Mob Market in a place called Mutengene, where you have to negotiate what you need with not just with the market people, but also we do that at home, isn't it? You negotiate with the children. That's what our parents used to do. They negotiate with us. What do you want? How can I afford it? If I cannot afford it, can mom afford it? If we cannot afford it, how is the community going to afford it? Some people even go through communities. What do I mean by that? Sometimes they have some kids. I remember growing up, you have some kids who are so smart. They're very brilliant, but the parents can barely make ends meet, barely put food on the table. But some of the people in the community will put their fingers together and send that child to school. The child comes back, you cannot forget the community that you came from. So you go back there and support them. So I hope that some of us who grew up in that environment still remember, and you're going to be able to continue to support those people you left behind. I know we do it, but as our sister said earlier, the people we're supporting, they look even nicer than we do because we're constantly working to send and forget that we have to take care of ourselves. And then the fun day starts. Oh, look at them. We shouldn't go that route. We should remember that we're doing it just because we feel that they need it more than we do. But is that absolutely true? I was in that situation as well, constantly giving, and I see them, the photos they post on the social media now, they're looking like, wow, they're living in Europe. So I've diverted my mindset from enabling people who can afford for themselves, and I stick with my non-for-profit, which is people who for serving people who cannot afford, and I can see that they cannot afford, not their family anymore. And then also looking for children whose parents were affected by the war and supporting them in school, but not to continue supporting the family that we've been supporting when we grew up. But again, we all grew up with different experiences. Different families have different goals. So there's no green and red on how to deal with demands and support. But during the Christmas period, this is the one time we should just support with prayers, because no amount of personal earthly gifts will bring happiness to any family that has issues that need healing. Prayers is what we should give more to our loved ones this holiday. Money will not solve any health issues they have, because the medications that they have out there, you take some of them, they don't really help. It's prayers that help a lot of sick people that we have. But that's how I see it, that prayers help more. Yes, the medications help, but what does a capsule that has cassava inside do? If you know what I mean by cassava, it's not really, it's a placebo. It's not really a capsule that can help you heal from any illness. We should avoid some of those things. That's what is going out there. Oh, I need medicine, money for medicine. You actually are not buying medicine. We should try to empower people who can help solve issues that are solvable in other parts of the world, rather than complicating it for us. Anyway, I'm just ranting from one end to the other because I realize that we have so much to pray for this holiday. Let's pray that there should be people should be honest with themselves when they put out things in the market, especially things medication that will cure. In our part of the world, there's too many fake things there. We should pray that our families should be honest with us when they're asking for support, because they don't know what we're going through. We should pray that people should not be working 3 jobs to send money to others when they take it and promise that they will build houses and nothing is done. We should pray that honesty should reign within ourselves, our communities, and our families, not excluding our friends and frenemies, because there's so many of them out there looking for us to fall down. And then they say, I'm going to see how you wake up. We pray for them too.
Yes.
So that's the little I have to add. Queen Kanla, back to you.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you for adding that perspective. Yes, we will. We all will. Thank you.
Hi, Queen Kanla
Yes, Mama Edith.
and family. I've been quiet because I've been learning and unlearning. It
Yes.
has really been a bit confusing for me, thinking that how it's kind of contradictory from, as Dr. P mentioned, the way we have been brought up. Putting yourself first was kind of not a really acceptable thing. You know, in our homes, when we grew up, when there's a visitor or someone who's coming from outside, you have to step out of your bed and let that person get onto the bed, and maybe you sleep on the floor. Now, I hear the point that you are making of why we should pay ourselves first. But now it's kind of trying to reverse what you had in your mind all along. But I think I hear, and I think it's learnable. And
Yes.
the more we talk about it, that example that was made by, I think, Dr. P or Dr. John, of what do they say on the plane? Put your mask first before you put the child.
Correct.
And
Yes.
you hear the logic of
Yes.
it. It's a question of relearning and re-understanding
Yes.
some of these the utterances that you are really making. I was thinking, okay, who is first then? I have this little mega pension. I need to do things for my grandchildren, for the house. Is the house, myself, and juggling all what you need to be doing. I'm telling you, I was coming out. I went out after church. I went to do some shopping.
Yes.
I'm saying I'm shopping so much for food.
Yes.
And when I come back, I say, oh, by the way, there needs to be, grandchildren need some presents under a Christmas tree. That is before I can now reach out to others. How am I going to do this? Is it still myself? Is it? I'm saying here it's learnable as long as you have introduced the concept. It's going to be ringing in our mind that there is a concept of you have to take yourself first and do things for yourself first so that you are able even to do better for the others.
Absolutely. And I can see where, like you said, where that confused, or let me not even use contradiction, not confused, contradiction, because for those of us who grew up with African families or families where community was our mantra, you are your brother's keeper, you are your sister's keeper, you are your parents' caregiver. They raised you to turn and take care of them. Absolutely good. There is nothing wrong in that. So what you're saying is we grew up to be taught that we respect these customs, these traditions, or these morals, which are 100% good. Nothing wrong with that. But where we have evolved today is that we do not know when to differentiate what is need versus what is want. I think Dr. John made a point to help us to differentiate. So, okay, let's use, for example, what you just said about you and what you're thinking, what those responsibilities are, grandchildren, and what you need to do. So if you sit now down and you figure out, okay, the 50% is going to be what is the need, and then you take care of those needs. And then the 30% is going to be what are those wants, which means you can go by without those wants, but you cannot go by without taking care of your needs. The wants are leisure. They are hobbies. They are things you go out and you do them because you have discretionary fund, or you think that you put enough on the side because you just want to go and do something for yourself. But do you absolutely have to do it? Not in all cases, but there are some ones that eventually become a need, like what the example, doctor, if you're living with your parents and they are dead, then they become your responsibility. So that becomes a need. Whatever they need or whatever you need to do, though it's not, but then it becomes your need. So same with your grandchildren. So taking care of your grandchildren now has become a need for you. So which means it falls within the 50% category. Where when you get your money, you know that they fall within that need, that you need to take care of it. But let's say, okay, a friend calls you for a party and you need to go, for you to go buy a gift. Is that a need or a want?
I don't know.
You can forgo one and you can make up for the other one, but you don't have to attend all of the parties because they are not needs. Not all of them are needs. But at the same time, if you have that 20% that you are paying yourself and saving for yourself, then as you're taking care of the responsibilities, you are also saving that portion that is for yourself. That is the one that will be able to take care of yourself. And again, at the end of the day, if you do not save for yourself, if you do not keep for yourself, eventually, how will you be able to take care of the others, the needs?
Well, no, thank you.
Yes.
Mom, I can see, as I told you to, it's time to learn and unlearn. You're really right there. And it's not selfish.
Not at all.
And it's not that you should not. Okay. Let me say I have just $100. I have a bill to pay. If I don't pay my bill, maybe I'll not get water. Then my grandchildren are like, oh, I need a toy. And I have other toys in the house. That toy too is $100. what I'll do first now with this, I will pay my bills first. And I'll sit them down and say, okay, play with this other toy. When there's a time, we can get the other one.
Yes.
But before, what I would do is that, because I wanted my grandchild to be happy,
Mm-hmm.
I would buy them that toy and then try to figure out how I'm going to pay that water bill or something. I think that's what we're trying to, the
Yes.
mindset shift we're trying to get.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, we were all brought that way, that give your bed to a stranger. I think we're not saying that it's like in that situation, Mama, I will still give my bed and sleep on the floor for a stranger. But if I have a medical condition that I cannot sleep on the floor, I will not do that. I think we're trying to get this type of mindset
Yes.
shift, because before, whether we have medical condition, we will say, no, a stranger has come to our house, it's not right.
You give it. Yeah,
right?
your
We give it.
elders.
And
Mm-hmm.
If
Yes.
get to the point that you yourself cannot maybe sleep on the floor because of one condition or another,
Mm-hmm.
to extend to them that make the floor comfortable with them, for them, with maybe duvets or whatever you have to make it comfortable, because you cannot go that low on the floor right now because you cannot sleep flat or something like that. That's just another example. And you taking the bed is not selfish. Is that mindset shift we were talking about?
Yeah. We only talking about grandchildren. There are also sister-in-laws, mother-in-laws, and all that kind of stuff.
Yes,
Mama,
involved.
yes,
Oh,
Mama,
Mama
we're putting them all
Edith.
in the same bucket. Taking
They're
care of
all in
others.
the same bucket. They're all absolutely. Sister
oh.
Peace has said it all. Yes,
and
they're all.
they just come and they want some money,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to do something.
Mama Grace, I think yes, Sister Debbie as well, right? Human beings, the way I've seen it, because most of us here have been that type of a victim, especially when you have a giver heart,
Mm-hmm.
and you're one of the ones that might be perceived as doing okay in the family.
Yes.
When people start taking as an entitlement,
Yes.
that they are entitled for you to take care of them. You might not get a good house for you to just sit comfortable because you're afraid that, oh, if I go and try to get a beautiful house, they'll say, oh, we're out there and she's building herself a house. I'll get guilty. No, I'm changing my mindset. Right now, I don't have a home, the type of home I would like because of that type of mindset, right? Because I'm like, oh, why would I go and get a duplex if I can stay in one room and take care of my family?
Mm-hmm.
As the Sister Debbie says, and you turn, what happened? They've taken your money and they've bought a duplex for themselves.
Right.
And a lot of us are really, me too, I'm going to like just help people that are really in need. I might not know, I need to know them. Because yes, the Almighty God should help. But because of the family background orientation, we tend to start within our family, and they have been abusive.
Yes, they're very abusive.
Yes, they are.
So this is a mindset shift that we should see and say, okay, it's
Mm-hmm.
not their rights, it's not their entitlement,
Mm-mm.
but it has to be, I would rather take out of I tell my siblings, you don't give out of abundance. I don't have abundance when I'm giving. But now I've decided to do that now for people that really need it, because
Yes.
the family has come as if it's their entitlement. And before you know it, they are living in places that you cannot even afford.
Mm-hmm.
Then they turn my back, but what has she done? She's been in Europe for how many years? What has she done? This is true.
What do you
But they
have
forget
here?
to see that, okay, I've sent how many people in school, through colleges, I've sponsored how many children, I've taken care of the parents, I've taken care of the grandparents. They fail to even put that in their little talks. But that shouldn't perturb us. But what we're saying is that it is not wrong to take care of your needs. That's what we're trying to say, your needs, before taking care of others' needs. That's why I always tell my kids, when we go somewhere, I'm hungry, I eat first. As if I don't eat, I cannot feed you. I cannot breastfeed you for nothing. And they used to laugh. I think I was the only one that my mindset was shifted there, right? That's why Dr. John only brought it. I say that all the time. Nothing is wrong. Because truly, if you cannot take care of yourself and be happy, how can you take care of others?
No. Yeah. Great conversation. Thank you, Dr. Pat. Absolutely. I mean, I have a story of another friend that I got to know who is here and is having some health challenges. And then they had projects back at home, like what Sister Debbie was talking about. Instead of focusing and concentrating on taking care of yourself here so that you get well, the little that you have to take care of yourself, you're splitting it and you're sending it back home so that the project should continue. Is there guarantee that you know that by tomorrow or in 2 months, that project back at home is going to get finished? You are not even certain of your health situation here, but you make the choice to send that money back at home because you want to finish that project. And why do you want to finish it? Because of the pressure. You want to finish it for your siblings. You want to finish it so that you want to show that you have done something back at home. But meanwhile, you are here and you are going through some health issues. It is time for us to change that mindset. Take care of yourself. When you're healthy, then you can continue taking care of those projects. And then, as if not too long after that, guess what? The money that was sent to continue the project, part of it was taken and was never actually used for the project. Back at home, it was used for something else.
Yeah.
And then they came back and sent the message again that they needed more money.
Yeah.
Yes, so the mindset, that is the mindset of pay yourself first, take care of yourself, and be ready for the rainy days. Build for yourself so that you are able to take care of others. And as we continue with the series, we are going to go into more details and break down more the concepts for our own understanding. So thank you, Mama Edith.
Thank you too.
Do we have any other contribution? I don't see anything in the chat. Okay. Does that mean we've come to the end of our presentation today? Then we can move on to the next webinar agenda. No questions in the chat, no hands raised. So then I may just, yes, Sister P.
Queen Kana, if you can just give us our take home from this or the discussion, then we can close for the day.
Wow, absolutely. Well, the take home, I think we've said almost everything that need to be said. We are doing this to educate ourselves, to be aware of what we can do, a mindset shift for all of us here, which will be always remember that it is not about how much you earn to be able to pay yourself. It is you being aware, being informed, and make that decision that you are going to pay yourself. Whether it's $1 you choose to pay, whether it's $5, whether it's $10, whether it's 15, pay yourself. And I know we have a piggy bank for our children at home. How about if you can also think about that for yourself? Pay yourself, put the money in there, and don't look at it, don't remove it. And at the end of the month or at the end of the year, go and open it and see how much you save for yourself. That discipline, that consistency, that is going to be your savings. And then we can learn to use the modern portfolios that are available, diversify the different ways in which we can pay ourselves, so that we can prepare for those rainy days in the future. We will dive more into the concepts as we continue our series, so stay tuned. Thank you all, and have a wonderful Sunday. Bye-bye.
You know, I've been paying myself by buying myself a slab of dark chocolate. I think I have to graduate to paying myself
Mama
with hard
Edith,
money.
Mama Edith, Debbie saying hello. Elsie saying hello.
Hello. Hello, Debbie. Ujwang Ausi.
How are you, May? Thank you so much. Good to see you. Thank you, Sister Carla.
Yes, thank you
I
too as
have been
well.
buying myself some chocolate. Now I have to do hard money, hard cash.
Good seeing everyone. Have a good afternoon and happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, everybody.
Okay,
Thanks,
sis.
Nkanda,
You
for
drive
a very
safely and get
provocative
home
topic.
safely.
Thank you. Thanks, Queen
Yes.
Nkanda, for a provocative mindset shift, financial literacy, paying
Yes.
She is
ourselves
good, though. She
first.
is good at everything and anything she decides to put her mind to. Awesome. Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody.
Sister Debbie.
My phone is
All right.
2%.
Yes.
We'll catch up again. Blessings, everyone.
Blessings to you. Have a wonderful week. All right,
Thank
to
you.
our family, Sister P, do you want to close our family on YouTube, or we just round up since we are already saying goodbyes? Thank you, our family on YouTube.
Yeah, just close the Sister Carla and just inform the other meetings, please.
Okay, all right. We have come to the end of our webinar for today. To our family on YouTube, we want to say thank you. We acknowledge your presence, your participation. We love you. We appreciate you being with us today. So thank you so much as usual. And we just want to remind ourselves of the webinars within the week. On Mondays, Dr. Derek, Mindset Monday, Dr. Derek and Queen Miriam. And Tuesday and Thursday, we have Deep Dive with Dr. Derek. On Monday to Friday, we have also webinar with our sister, the two Yvonnes. Be able to catch up with them if you are able to. And then on Sunday, we come back.
Yeah, I think the only thing you need is to warm up your fufu, because I already warm up the German.
Okay, Sister Debbie, we can hear you. You're
welcome.
warming up German. Sorry. All right. On
Fix a
Sunday,
couple of
we
things
are
waiting
here
for my
back
salad to
again
warm up.
with the deep dive. Sorry, with the dream team. So we look forward to seeing you next Sunday with the next presentation. You have a wonderful week. We love you all. Thank you again. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Our leaders, we jump up to
Yeah.
a quick planning meeting after this. It will be quick and out.
That's very quick.
Yes. So, Brashagi, I see Brashagi was there. If he can send us the topic. Bye, everyone. See you.